In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about video segments which form part of the video enhancements features in RightBooth. So let's have a look at them. Go into the designer, event structure, and look at the video enhancements section. Now by default, video enhancements are turned off in all your event files. So if you're recording videos, they won't normally get enhanced. If you want to enhance your videos, you have to turn them on here. And then you get to see all of the enhancements that you can apply to your videos. Now, there are features down this side of the panel that I'm not going to talk about in this video. I'm going to discuss video segments. So what is a video segment? Well, the best way to describe a video segment is to take a look at a reference video that I'm going to be using in this tutorial. And this is it. It's a 5-second spinner video. Now, just to say that you can enhance any videos you like. It doesn't have to be 360 spinner videos. It can be any videos that you record with a GoPro or a DSLR camera or even a webcam. So for this tutorial, I'm going to concentrate on using this short spinner video. So let's take a look at it. As you can see, it's a 5-second clip. And that's all it does. So in order to talk about video segments, you need to think about percentages. So this video is 5 seconds long, and if you imagine that at the start of the video it's 0% and at the end of the video is 100%. So anything in between is somewhere between 0% and 100%. So for instance, halfway through the video would be 50%. A quarter of the way through the video would be 25%, and 3/4 of the way through the video would be 75%. So segments are defined by percentage values, a start percentage and an end percentage. So now that we have that in mind, let's go back to RightBooth. So what I've done here is I've referenced smoke2.mp4, which is on my computer, and ideally what you need to do is to get yourself a reference video so that you can play with the segments. So let's try adding a segment. You click the plus button here and you get a row added to the segments table, which is defaulting to 0%, 100% with a speed of 1. So what does that mean? That means that this segment starts at 0%, which is here, and it finishes at 100%, which is the end of the video. The speed is a number between 0.01 and 10. Now a speed of 1 signifies that the segment will be played at normal speed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to hit the test button and see what happens. RightBooth processes the video and it's creating the new video from the segment list. Now we've only got one segment, so it should give us the whole thing. And here we go. So you can see that this source video is 5.9 seconds long, and it's taken 9 seconds to process it and create the enhanced video, which is also 5.9 seconds long, because it's only got one segment. So what I'm going to do now is add another segment, and this time I'm going to set the first segment 0 to 50 and the second segment 50 to 100. So now we have two segments in our enhancement. But for the first segment, I'm going to slow it down. So I'm going to set it to something like 0.33. And that means it's going to be playing at a third of its normal speed. And with the second segment, I'm going to increase the speed to 5. So that means that the second segment will play at 5 times normal speed. So basically we have the first half of the video, 0 to 50, playing at a third speed, and the second half of the video playing at 5 times the speed. So let's test that. So as you can see, we've got slow motion for the first half of the video, and then we have a quick second half which is just 5 times the speed. Okay, let's add some more segments. This time I'm going to reverse back through these two segments. So I'm going to start from 100, which is at the end of the video, back to the middle, which is 50. Again, I'm going to use 5 times the speed. And then I'm going to go from 50 back to 0. In other words, reversing the direction of the segment. And again, I'm going to slow that one down. So let's try that. So we have slow motion, then we should be followed by fast forward, fast reverse of the last half, fast forward, fast reverse, and then a slow motion reverse back to the start of the video. Now this particular enhancement took a total of 18.9 seconds. And as you can see, the final video is a different length to the start video. So the start video, or the source video, was 5.9 seconds, but because we've introduced slow motion into this, and we've also actually doubled up on the play because we're playing forward and we're playing reverse, we're getting a finish time of 19 seconds. So the output length duration of the video is dictated by how many segments you add and what sorts of speeds you apply to them. Now you don't have to cover the whole 100% of the video for your segments. So for instance, if I was to delete this one and this one, you can see that we're just going to be playing the first half of the video at slow motion, forwards and reverse. Let's try that. Now, as you can see with this video now, its total time is 17 seconds and the actual enhancement time has been reduced to 14 seconds. Okay, this time I'm going to add 4 segments and I'm just going to split it into 0 to 25, which is the first quarter of the video, followed by 25 to 50, which is quarter to halfway through the video, then 50 to 75, and finally 75 to 100. So I've got 4 quarters. I'm going to set the speeds to 0.5, so half speed for all of them. And this time I'm going to add an effect to each one. So you can choose from all of the effects here. So on the first one I'm going to have lens, second one mirror, third one quad, and the last one stack. So let's try that. So you can see that the enhanced video is roughly twice the length of the source video because the whole thing is being played at half speed. Okay, this time I'm going to play the first quarter forwards and backwards. So 0 to 25 is forwards, 25 to 0 is in reverse, and then I'm going to play the last quarter. So I'm going to go from 75 to 100. That's playing the last quarter forwards, and then I'm going to go from 100 back to 75. So I'm going to play the first quarter of the video forwards, then back again, and then I'm going to play the last quarter of the video from 75 to 100 forwards, and then I'm going to play reversing back. I'm going to put the speeds at 1. Just to say that you can use the arrow keys on the keyboard to move around the cells in this table. I'll just take off these effects for now. And let's test that. So remember, we're going to play the first quarter forwards and backwards and the last quarter forwards and backwards. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. So I hope you're beginning to see what you can do with segments. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite easy. You're literally putting in a starting point for the segment here, which is 0 to 100, any value, an end point here, which is 0 to 100, any value, a speed, which can be anything from 0.001, which is extremely slow, up to 10, which is 10 times the speed of the normal video. You can then apply an effect to each of the segments, and you can also add a colour if you wish to change the colour of the segment as it plays. So there's lots of potential here to design your own sequences of segments. Now, once you are happy with your segments, you can save them. Hit the save button, give it a name. I'll call this one quarters, and simply save it. So gradually you will build up your own collection of segments that you can use in your video enhancements. Now looking here, you can see that I've been building up a few segment files. Let's take a look at this one. Now this is experimental, but eventually I will have a photo flash effect that I'm going to add into RightBooth. For now I'm just experimenting here. Let me show you what happens. You can actually use fractional percentages as I'm doing here. So I'm using a flash colour with very short segments at very slow speeds. So I hope by now that you can see the power of this, and I hope it helps you to understand how to use video segments in your events. If you have any questions, you can always ask them on the forum or email me at support@rightbooth.com. And thanks for watching.